screen. Hey, I'm back. Hey, yo. Sorry. What's up? So yeah, the real question is PayPal using Ripple? And as you can see with all these deals coming out and all these partnerships being made, it just looks more and more like XRP is going to become this big open, neutral, interoperable ledger for a lot of these payment corridors, a lot of these businesses to be running on top of. So really exciting things to look at. Using some of the ideas from what we were talking about yesterday with XRP and cryptos being the oil of the future, and then looking at PayPal acquiring Hyper Wallet. Whoa, like really exciting stuff, really big news. We have people every day moving into this space. It's not just it's not just you and me that are speculating about how beneficial this could be. There's huge businesses, huge companies moving into this area all the time. So we have, this article that came out today. It talks about Andreessen Horowitz launches a $300 million crypto fund co-led by first female general partner. And this is pretty exciting, honestly. There's a lot of things that just continually lend to the idea that people are paying attention to this space, people are taking notice of this space, and people are thinking like, how can I get in? How can I not be left behind? So you can see, of course, big banks around the world are looking at how to open up and use these payment corridors, whether or not they're developing their own blockchain tech or using XRP. It's hard to specifically tell until they tell us, until they announce these partnerships. So people have said, oh, well, Alipay and Alibaba powered by Standard Chartered. When I go look at Standard Chartered, their actual blockchain technology is powered by what they call the accelerator program. So the accelerator program is their blockchain, focused group, basically. And what that means is that they have I think they have probably a few different solutions they're working on. But when you look at the Standard Chartered Bank, as far as their fintech acceleration ideas, their main blockchain tech distributor is this ledger called KYC Chain. And I can't say for sure if who's using XRP, if they're using XRP, if they're floating on top of their interoperable ledger, or if they've developed their own. Looking at this, I think kind of gives us an idea. We can see the self-sovereign identity and distributed ledger technology framing the legal issues. We can look at their suggestions for who they're going to use in this blockchain tech, and they have this idea of public versus private and permissionless versus permission. And you can see right here they have Bitcoin, Ethereum, but they don't have XRP listed. They do have Hyperledger, Sawtooth, and R3 Corda over here. R3 Corda is not even blockchain tech. It's just a private database. So Hyperledger, which we know is not Hyper Wallet. Hyperledger is different. Hyperledger is the consortium. It's a group, open source group powered by Linux to build and develop a Hyperledger everyone can work with. Ripple's with them. Ripple has used and worked with them. Basically looking at them touting Bitcoin and Ethereum over here, but they don't have XRP listed. Is that purposeful because they don't want to tell us who they're going to use, or are they actually excluding it? It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell what's happening here. So I've been trying to figure out who exactly is using what. Looking at the financial, the fintech technology of the Standard Chartered Bank. They're using the accelerator program. The accelerator program's built out by this KYC chain, Know Your Customer Chain, the ultimate identity platform, and it doesn't reference any other technology in it. It doesn't reference any other blockchains being used specifically, but I know I'm going to have to reference my boy, whoever he was. Actually, we'll look at that in Twitter. My boy sent me this or posted this in response saying Ripple, Gcash, and Alipay second degree connection. So again, this is looking at this as speculation in the wake of the announcement of what's happened. We can see cross-border payment remittance service provider powered blockchain technology, and it goes through and it tries to tie parallels between who is powering this technology, who's going to use it, and where that underlying infrastructure is. So the service between Gcash, Alipay, all these things are being mentioned as these big ties to the next fintech industry in a sense. They're saying, obviously, their past partnerships, standard charters, past partnerships with RippleNet, talking about testing it, is why they're saying that they think Alibaba and Alipay is using Ripple. But I can't exactly draw those conclusions specifically. They do have a lot of news and a lot of information on here that does make a lot of strong correlations between all the tech. But kind of like how we look at the Hyper Ledger, it's a big open source group project. Everyone's kind of working together on this idea. So what do you guys think? Do we have anyone in here that has some ideas about this, where we can draw the conclusion for what blockchain tech Alibaba Alipay is using? Tell me what's up. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you right now. What's happening? Hey yo, hey yo, hey from Houston. Yeah, I had a network drop there for a second. You should be able to refresh. Whoa, what's up? What's up? CKJ is awesome. Houston. Why is everyone so concerned? XRP has achieved super dominance, has fat utility. TRX Alibaba deal, it's ridiculous. TRX is for content creators, not for merchants. Boom. News out. New news out. It's not XRP. China does everything in-house. They have their own Twitter, Amazon, and Uber. It's either TRX or Neo. They will, a communist country, really use American blockchain tech. Interesting idea. Everyone is expecting another huge dip in the market. Time to short the market and make some money. Gcash and American Express are partners. So this is where it gets really interesting. And I know that it's easy to start looking at like, okay, well, we have partners here, and so we think this is a partnership. Now, partnerships and being partners does not necessarily guarantee use, right? It doesn't necessarily guarantee anything. In fact, I could be in a partnership with a company, but we're never going to use each other's products or something. So specifically, just partnership doesn't always guarantee use. But mainly, partnership is good because usually you're developing partners and partnerships with people that it's mutually beneficial, right? It's a mutually beneficial relationship, and that's what Ripple provides. That's what XRP provides to a lot of these cross-border payment and remittance payment systems. So basically what that means is, yeah, exactly, Ryan Wood, XRP will remain the backbone is what a lot of people think. So, possibly it's hard to think like, okay, well, they've developed a relationship, yeah, GPay or Gcash and American Express might have a partnership, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be, developing or using both of their products together. It's hard to say. I think XRP has definitely done a good job of kind of putting itself into a lot of these partnerships at the backbone. King Blue, you just posted on Twitter. Okay, I'll go check it out. I'm gonna go look on the tweeter right now. China will always find a way to make their own tech for sure. We got, you shouldn't invest unless you understand. Simple, Mega Hash says. Can you go over the myth of market cap? It was a real eye-opener. Sure. So if you guys didn't watch the video yesterday, it's XRP 20K Explained. The original title was XRP 33 cents to 20K because I didn't want to put up something like 20K while it's headed to 30 cents. So I kind of I felt like I didn't want to upset anyone, but I also wanted to deliver some real information. So the video came out, 20K Explained. It talks about XRP and crypto being the new oil of the future. And one of the ideas we talked about was demystifying market cap. So we went and demystified market cap. And what we used as an example was basically the analogy was if you fly into an island and basically if you fly and land on an island and there's 5 houses on the island and you buy 3 for 200K each, so you just posted this, King Blue? All right, we'll look at this next. So they land on the island. Basically, what this means is like someone buys 3 houses for $200,000 each. They've only spent $600,000, but the market cap of the island is $1 million because there's 2 more houses that people want to sell them. They've already been sold for $200,000. So the market cap of the island's $1 million, even though $600,000 was the inflow. So only $600,000, bless you, was the inflow. And then $1 million is the market cap. What that means is that basically the $300 billion market cap is not $300 billion inflow. And that's interesting. And when JP Morgan and Chase did research on this specific set of numbers, they realized that the $300 billion market cap was created by $6 billion inflow. Single-digit integer 6 billion inflow created $300 billion market cap. So, you know, yeah, maybe you're whenever you see a price that's really high on my price predictions, and you're like, well, that would be $300 trillion market cap. Well, guess what? You would only need $6 trillion to make a $300 trillion market cap. And that's just projecting the same numbers from an old report. So it's always different every time. It's always different. Everyone needs to, you know, probably realize that there's a lot of discrepancy or a possible variation inside of how high or low it could go. Every moment it changes. But in reality, what we're saying is, as soon as it happens, as soon as the floodgates open, and as soon as people decide to basically purchase XRP at a specific amount, it's understood, resistance levels are set, people are literally moving forward thinking like, okay, this is fine. It just keeps happening. It snowballs. And the more people are putting in as inflow, it astronomically projects higher and higher prices into the market cap. And eventually what that means is, it's exactly, market cap is the last traded price times number of coins. It's misleading and it's misunderstood concept. Most don't get it. That's totally true. And the reason that this is odd is because it's literally a coded store of value. So it's functioning on a code that runs on the greater fool theory, which is okay. It's good. It's working. It's functional. What's happening before this basically is like, I have $1 in the United States and I think it's always $1. Well, it's always $1 inside the United States, because that's where it's inside of a fixed economy. When I leave the States, that dollar is worth something else, right? In the international markets, that dollar has an international value that's not necessarily true to the value we denote it to the States. So what this means is, you know, our dollars aren't really worth $1. We just tell ourselves they're always worth $1. And here in the States, they're always worth $1. But in reality, they're always fluctuating inside these international markets. So for the first time, cryptos are, in a sense, a functioning currency, the first real functioning currency, because they fluctuate in real time based on the supply and demand of the market. It scares people, I know. It makes people confused. It makes people look back and go like, well, this, why, how, I don't know. But that's okay. That's okay, because what this means basically is that we're in a transitional phase of understanding how to use these codes of value and how to create a true coded store of value. And right now, one of the market caps is one of the best indicators we have for the projected value from the last purchase price. But it's, again, as soon as someone sells, let's say XRP hits 20K, right? This is what we were looking at in the oil, with the oil price. Oil price went from $1 a barrel, which was 42 gallons. So it's like, you know, $1 a barrel up to $150 a barrel, and then down to $40 a barrel, all within like 100 years. And again, saying like, you know, XRP might hit 20K. Bitcoin might hit $1 million, but it might not stay there, right? It might run up and then come down and then run up and come down over and over again for as long as that is a functioning commodity the world needs. In a sense, we can expect a high run-up and a high fallback over and over again, in a sense. What does that mean for the price of XRP, for the price of cryptos? It means that you could easily see that price reach. As soon as XRP hit 20K, and I start selling, because I'm like, it nailed my price prediction, sell, 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 sell. As soon as I sell, it drops the price. As soon as you sell, because you're like, Kung Fu Nerd called 20K, it's not going to go any higher than that. I sell, you sell, someone else sells, the price drops until it reaches a new resistance level, and then someone else is like, Kung Fu Nerd's wrong. Kung Fu Nerd's wrong. It's going to be 50K. Buy, buy, buy. And so then it goes the other way. Someone buys, a bunch of people buy, and then boom, it takes off. And it's based off the market's response. It's based off of you and I deciding the value of something, and that's big. Basically, inside the States, I think only 8% of people are invested in Bitcoin. And we're still going to do that. I'm going to go out downtown and walk around and ask people, like, have you ever heard of Bitcoin? And they're going to say yes or no. If they say yes, I'm going to ask them, have you heard of XRP? So we can look at, like, out of 100 people, who've heard of Bitcoin? Out of those, how many people? Who's heard of XRP? And you can see the percentage is probably very, very low, right? You know, only 8% of people invested in Bitcoin in the States, and I bet even less than that, maybe 1 or 2% invested in XRP. Imagine when oil first hit as a commodity, you know, people probably didn't think it was a thing. Like, people were like, did you hear they're buying and selling old dirt from the ground? Yeah, Peter, I heard that. How ridiculous. You know, old Seymour, he just bought $100,000 worth of oil. What a doofus. That's never going to work out. No one's ever going to buy that for more than $1 a barrel. And then boom, what, 100 years later, whoever bought all those dollar barrels is loaded because they were like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yeah, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch my video from yesterday. 20K Explained. Go look at the idea of the Internet of Value, the misunderstanding of market cap, the reality of basically having access to oil before the world knew what oil was, is where we are. So, yeah, they said 1,000 per BTC was impossible. That's right, they did. People have literally said that. That is exactly right. Okay, so we had King Blue said he just posted this on Twitter. King Blue on Twitter. You can go follow him. I do. King Blue _ XRP just posted this bad boy to bring some insight. We're looking at to understand if Alibaba's Alipay is going to use XRP or if they're competing with competing blockchain tech. Here we go. So, in an effort to stir up remittance services via DLT, Distributed Ledger Technology, an announcement and a collaboration with Gcash and Standard Chartered, Ant Financial Firm announced it will launch an e-wallet that serves its clients for services between Hong Kong and the Philippines. Hey, thanks, King Blue. Cheers, thank you. No, thank you. Thank you. I thank you. Thanks, man. Thanks for supporting the channel. I appreciate it. The information was disclosed on June 25th. Revealed that a Filipino had been working in HQ for 22 years, tested the blockchain-based electronic wallet for cross-border remittance services, and it was discovered that transactions are usually difficult, cumbersome, and take days, can now be completed in just 3 seconds. Sounds a lot like some other cross-border payment service I know. While stating that almost everyone has access to mobile devices, the statement expressed that Alipay Hong Kong users can now transfer funds effortlessly at any time of day to the blockchain-based Philippine wallet Gcash. Now, is Gcash powered by Ripple? That's what we want to know, right? The impact of blockchain technology on the future of man might be far beyond our imagination. I agree. I agree. That's right. Far beyond our imagination. Thank you, Jack Ma, for that. The CEO of Alibaba also stated that using blockchain to achieve international remittance is one of his most concerned projects in the last 6 months. Starting from HQ, the service will spread across the globe in the future. That's interesting. Starting from Hong Kong, so that kind of gives you an idea why maybe Ripple had put that job up. Hey, Robert Parks, thank you. Robert Parks, thank you so much. Probably going to buy more today. Me too. Me too, my friend. What up, what up? How's it going? So, they don't really specify what blockchain he's using, but they do specify that they believe the full potential of blockchain technology has not yet been seen, and people believe it's only useful for making money, whereas it's proven worthy in areas such as security, privacy, and data, among others. The tone in the article do point to Ripple, and I agree. King Blue has basically just said that in the comment, and I agree. It does point towards Ripple's use. And again, looking at King Blue, were you the one that shared this earlier? I think you were. Looking at XRP Chat, we have a list of all the different sources for these articles tying all these companies together. So we have Standard Chartered, providing the underlying banking infrastructure for this Gcash app. Standard Chartered's been noted saying that they have been using the Ripple network for cross-border payments, and they're looking to push it live in 5 more countries around the world. And then you have the Gcash Remit, the remittance service provider, powered and partnered with the subsidiary Globe Telecom, and then the Globe Telecom partnering with Mint and Aya Corp, which provides remittance services to the Philippines. And then you can tie Globe to MoneyGram and MoneyGram to Ripple. So it's a long string, but potentially you can see where these relationships are being developed and why people are calling for RippleNet to be powering mostly all of this technology. And this is exciting. This is very exciting. I think we can assume that either they're using Ripple technology and it's good, or they're not and it doesn't matter because it's just not going to be able to compete. So I think that that's probably where we are. They don't necessarily have that specifically listed, but they do have MoneyGram states its intentions on piloting XRP. We do have all the ties from these people together. And then also, that's right, the bigger news than anything else, I think, is this PayPal acquiring Hyperwallet. That's right. Hyperwallet being acquired by PayPal. I don't know. That's probably huge. Probably one of the biggest things ever. Looking at the Hyperwallet website on their blog, it's one of the last things they posted about on their blog. It's Hyperwallet's also using Ripple. So Hyperwallet's been saying that they're using Ripple, and then they literally just got purchased by PayPal. So we have PayPal and Hyperwallet. That's probably the bigger news, I think, personally. Paying the planet with PayPal. PayPal just put in a $400 million purchase for Hyperwallet, and Hyperwallet has been using RippleNet for a while. So I think that's essentially what we're looking at. And if you guys didn't watch the 20K video yesterday, there were some things in there that we included and that we added that I was really excited about, but we didn't put everything together, right? If we didn't put all the things together, so we're probably going to consider that today. Looking at some of this news, and then also looking at some other exciting things. Who is using RippleNet? Is it everyone? Why wouldn't they? If we're talking with the Fed, with the Federal Reserve, about making RippleNet or XRP ledger and the backbone, the interoperable neutral ledger of payments around the world, why wouldn't we expect this to happen? Why wouldn't we expect everyone to be moving over to do that? That seems logical to me. Yeah. Mr. Miyagi, yeah, exactly. Mr. Miyagi and King Blue, you guys are right. Alibaba stated it was a 3-second transaction, which kind of defines XRP. That's what I was thinking too. It is interesting to see them calling the 3-second transaction. It's stating remittance payments, which XRP stands for as well. So looking at this exciting news for not only PayPal acquiring Hyperwallet, which runs on XRP Ledger, but Alipay working with Standard Chartered, which also is in partnerships with Ripple and XRP Ledger. So yes, very, very likely. And then thinking about the video we did yesterday, XRP and cryptos being the new oil of the internet, we have over 1 trillion sensors coming online. We have over potentially, we have millions and billions of people becoming more aware of this technology every day. And then looking at the market cap, all we would really need is $6 trillion to move in to project us to $300 trillion market cap. That would be insane. That would be insanity. I can't even do price predictions or do those numbers because they just look so crazy. And that's potentially what's dangerous about being honest. Like, I don't want to lie and say, like, okay, first off, I'm going to do a video later about this. You guys know the bear guy, the bearable guy or whatever. He's pretty cool. Who is bearable guy, though? Who is he? And, like, why is it okay to make a 589 price prediction for the end of the year but not make thousands of dollar price prediction for 10 years later? I mean, that'd be really damaging if it hit 589 at the end of the year and then didn't keep projecting up into the future. That would be really bad for it as a cryptocurrency, as a currency in general. So who is bearable guy? People are like, oh, he's an insider because he doesn't show his face and he doesn't show his voice. And I was thinking, like, yeah, he is, but what if he's not? What if he's just another guy like me and he just doesn't want to show his face or show his or use his voice? So we're going to look at him later. We're going to do a bearable guy. Who is he? Look down. Maybe Bearable Guy is someone else already in the community that's right in front of you, and you don't even know it because they decided to create two personas for this internet, the crypto internet. Exactly who Bearable Guy is and why he made a 589 price prediction. People are saying he's an insider. He knows inside info. If it probably would go to 589 by the end of the year, $20,000 would not be a big jump in 10 years, right? Bearable Guy equals Brad Garlinghouse, you think? That's funny. That's a pretty funny idea. So we're going to look at Bearable Guy later and talk about him. We're going to look at the underlying technology for this. We just looked at this for most of the live stream, but we're going to look at that later today and talk about literally what this means. You know, like how can you know, people are easily able to support a cartoon bear making price predictions, but I can't make one. And you know, you guys know my face. You guys know who I am. You guys know who I am. So it's dangerous, I think, to be in this position. You know, like I am looking at all these potential huge numbers coming in, but you know, like I'm afraid to make big number price predictions because it's apparently, you guys, no one's ready. No one's ready. You know, so calling for near return, I think, is more damaging in a sense. Like if I called for something to happen in a month and it doesn't happen, I think that's more dangerous than making long-term predictions in a sense, because our expectations are set for right now. You know, like we're like, oh, I expect something to happen right now, and in reality, we're all just kind of waiting to see. You know, like we're at the horse races, and we're all just holding our tokens and like throwing them on the horse that we think is gonna win. Like, get out there, Charlie, run faster. Gosh dang it, run faster to the finish line. Like, you know, we're just betting. We're just gambling. We are not the horse. Like, we're not out there doing any of the work. So, we're not out there doing any of the work, really. We're just kind of speculating on the sidelines. So there's a lot of people that this is huge. You know, 589 at the end of the year is a big number. Maybe $5.89 is what people are going to start attaching to more, because it just seems more likely at this point. But again, looking at my video, go watch my video, XRP 20K Explained. We'll do another one later today talking about more. But how much money would it take for XRP to hit $500 at the end of the year? You know, like, I don't know. I can't do the exact numbers because it's a complicated equation. But looking at that market cap myth explained and looking at inflow versus market cap, we had $6 billion come in and $300 billion hit in market cap. 6 billion in, 300 billion in market cap, right? So what happens when we actually start hitting billions of dollars inflow? Billions of dollars inflow. Let's change it to trillion. Trillions of dollars inflow, you know? It's basically hard to tell. It's up in the air. So I would like to say guaranteed. I'd like to say guaranteed that Alibaba is using XRP, but no one's really saying that. There's not. I mean, we can draw our conclusions. We can draw conclusions, and we can say like this looks really strong, but it hasn't specifically been outlined as that exact thing. They are saying Alibaba Jack Ma launches blockchain-based remittance service. How far they can go with this new business before they can tell people about the blockchain tech powering it, I don't know. I don't know how far they can move forward without telling us about the blockchain tech powering it. So it's going to come out sooner or later. It's going to come out sooner or later if they are using XRP Ledger or not. If they aren't, it seems silly, honestly. It just seems silly if they aren't doing it. One of the other blockchain techs that they are working with is this KYC chain, and looking that up and trying to understand the KYC chain and know your customer chain. It's not Ripple. So looking to see that distinction and that clarification made. Excited about that. Bitcoin bouncing back or Bitcoin falling. XRP not a security and Bitcoin whales will die out. This article calling out for Bitcoin whales to die out, which I think is actually wrong. It's the opposite. Bitcoin whales aren't going to die out. Instead, we're just going to have a whole bunch more whales join the ocean, which will take away their power. It'll devalue their influence in a sense, because they'll have other whales playing the game as well. people need to make a plan about what to do when it hits certain numbers. What will you do when it hits $12? What will you do when it hits $5.89? And what will you do when it hits $1,200? That's a great point, Renegade Man. And in fact, from here on out, honestly, with my price predictions, I'm probably just going to stick with $5.89 or $1,200. Both of those being a little bit more easy to wrap your head around. People are still upset. Saying 20K and XRP gets people upset. People are still angry. And honestly, there's nothing you can do that's going to please everyone. You can't please everybody all the time, and I know that. I'm okay with that. I'm not trying to make everyone happy, or else I would make nothing, right? Those who make no mistakes make nothing. So eventually, you're going to make someone upset. Eventually, you're going to make a mistake, and someone's not going to be happy. And maybe it's even not a mistake. Maybe you're correct, and they're still not happy. So that's fine. This guy right here, DL, XRP is not going to 20K. That's fine if you don't think that. That's fine if it never happens. I'm just saying that if we saw 20K Bitcoin with 6 billion inflow, what happens when we hit 6 trillion inflow? What happens then? And if you have the co-founder of Cardano, just putting everything together, guys, just putting everything together that we know. You have Cardano co-founder talking about Wall Street pulling tens of trillions. That was the title of yesterday's live stream. Tens of trillions into crypto, Cardano co-founder says. 6 trillion equal 600 trillion market cap. We looked at yesterday in our 20K explained. Looking at the real truth of market cap and market cap demystified. Why it's not actually 600 trillion or 300 trillion. Looking at the use of oil or the use of XRP as an integral structure to society. We looked at this yesterday, and this is something that I don't think we've even considered this. Imagine a future where you have a corporation with no people, only machines, running a warehouse with no people, only machines, creating products with no people, only machines, using payment corridors and payment programs with no people, no accountants, just machines, functioning on a huge interoperable ledger, no people, just machines. Now imagine if that is ever going to possibly happen. Imagine if there's ever a possibility in the future where corporations are developing machines to just be an automated functioning machine. They pay for this resource, it comes, they pay for this whatever other commodity they need to create this product, it comes, and then they sell it, send it off, and it pulls in profits all the time, the whole time functioning on top of this huge interoperable neutral blockchain ledger. We talk about that in the video, 20K explained. There's a future coming, there's a future happening. Whether or not we're going to be part of it, it's going to happen. Whether or not you and I are holding any of the new world oil, it doesn't matter. It's still going to happen, right? It's still going to happen. And just like oil now, in 10 years, most people probably won't talk about this technology. Most people aren't going to be like, oh, well, I'm just looking at the XRP ledger today. No one cares. No one's talking about oil at the water cooler, right? And if they are, it's only in reference to well, I got to fuel up my car. It costs a few dollars more. Dang that, war or whatever. So, looking at some comments and looking at some more news, and then we're going to bounce out of here. What are you guys talking about? What are you guys talking about? Yeah, once the volatility stops, you just use your XRP as a currency and you won't need to cash out. I agree. It's at 45 cents right now. Okay. There was an interview with Brad Garlinghouse where he was asked about Alipay, and he answered in a nutshell by talking about inter-ledger protocol. So yeah, that's what's happening. Everyone's really working to be on top of this, the standard protocol, XRP the standard. That's right. Providing a foundational layer for consumer and business-facing applications. This is big stuff. This is what we talk about in the video, 20K explained. So, Bitcoin supply versus XR supply, 20K not possible. I've heard that before. I've heard that before in exact reference to Bitcoin. Bitcoin, 20K not possible. Millions of coins. Can't happen. Did you watch the XRP 20K explained video? Or no? Did you not? How can I record my computer screen and make a video? It's easy. You can just turn on screen record and make a video. How long are we going to dream? Hopefully forever. Hopefully you'll dream forever. If you hold XRP, keep an eye on the Japanese markets and news. It's true. The Jetsons. Yes. Bitcoin hit 20K just in a bubble as a store of value. Just imagine institutional investors, universities, and everything else is going live with XRapid. Thank you, Mr. Miyagi. Thank you, Mr. Miyagi. Exactly. Bitcoin hit 20K in a speculative bubble. A speculative bubble. Now imagine institutional investors, universities, and everyone else is going live with XRapid. Also imagine, again, looking at the projection of inflow versus market cap, how much money would we need to see XRP go to astronomically high prices? Not that much, honestly. Looking at it as far as like one billionaire could move into that space and it would change the whole space overnight, like a ripple on a pond. You send me an email? Okay, I'll be sure to respond. I'll be sure to check my email. I got you. I'll respond. I'll be like, what's up? Any video from the Tokyo blockchain conference that just happened hours ago. SBI spoke and supposedly said some good stuff about Ripple. Very cool. Very cool, Darren. Yeah, they've always been a big Ripple supporter. They've always been big into the Ripple community and the Ripple net and XRP. They have automated robots at Alibaba. Can I invest the money? Will XRP hit 20 cents? I almost made that the title of my video, honestly, because it seems like that's likely enough to happen. I almost made the title of my video XRP 20 cents or 20K, but instead it was 33 cents or 20K, and then I ended up removing the 33 cents to just 20K explained. So I was really excited about the releasing a 33 cent title video, and then I felt bad. I was like, I don't know, actually. I do think it's going to probably drop. It could drop to 20 cents. But I also do think that it's kind of like the new oil. I think that's the best analogy. And I know someone jumped in my comments and they were like, XRP's not oil. XRP's not oil. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that for me, because I didn't know what XRP was. I just thought it was oil. Because I don't even know where to go with that. Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I just don't know, guys. Boom. Did Alibaba confirm partnerships with Ripple? That's what everyone's talking about. That's what everyone's looking at. We have a lot of that information in the video if you just click back and look through it. That's what everyone's saying, mainly because of the 3 seconds that they're claiming it happened under, and mainly because of the partnerships that other partnerships have had with other partnerships that have had with other partnerships. Because of the chain of partnerships and the 3-second mention, we think it is XRP, or at least the interledger protocol. At least at some point, we're hoping for that clarification. So, tell me, what do you think? What do you think? You think Bitcoin could hit 35K, but 50K, I don't really think so. Okay. There was a time when you said it would never hit $1,000. Now you preach 20K. Crypto Justin, you are right. I have changed my mind multiple times. Mainly, as I've said before, when I first started making crypto videos, I listened to the wrong people. And what that means is that I listened to my friends and I listened to people that I gave a confirmation bias to. And like, we do that a lot. There's a lot of groupthink functioning out here where people just, they run with whoever has authority in the space. They're like, oh, well, whatever the argument was at the time, I did not have as much faith in XRP then as I do now. Looking at the argument of Ripple protocol versus proof of work, looking at the argument of pre-mine versus mine, looking at the argument of having a Ripple Lab software company that's kind of cheerleading and running some of the coin giveaways and charities. Like, some of that stuff didn't make sense to me at first, but it's making more and more sense as we move forward, and I can just keep taking notice of who's actually making strong moves every day, strong moves moving forward. So you're right. I've made plenty of price predictions, and I've definitely changed my mind a couple times. But as far as looking at the price of XRP moving forward, like I said in my video yesterday, it's so hard to tell. I have no idea. On a serious note, where is your piano playing cat? That's a good question. Actually, Andrea asked me about that cat yesterday. She was like, where's the cat? We'll put that. We'll put him in a video for you. We'll put him in today's video. We'll put him in today's video edit just for you. Bora Bora 2020. You should add Ripple addresses in the description for your donations. I think I do have a Ripple address in the description, don't I? Isn't it in there? I don't know. Yeah, it is. It's in there. If you go to support my channel, it's underneath my Patreon. I have a Ripple address. So you guys can support if you'd like, if you want to donate. Do I have a link to the blockchain conference, or does Darren? Yeah, give us a link to the blockchain conference. There's still new markets, so comparing price predictions to this market cap is very irrelevant. I agree, Mr. Miyagi. Thank you so much. There's so much new money waiting to come into the market, it makes this market insignificant. Yes, 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 so true. You are so correct. You are so correct. Alibaba will use Tron. Jack Ma and Justin Sun are buddies, says Steven. Interesting. Does Tron have a 3-second block time? I don't know. If XRP succeeded to take the #1 place, I think it will be on the news, and everyone will be going to invest, just like the BTC hype. Exactly. That's called FOMO. So even if we see like a certain speculative run-up, then we have the FOMO run-up. It could be a win-win. It could be a win-win. Do not change subjects. Check out Stellar going into the marijuana tech scene. Okay. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Don't do that voice again. I don't know what voice you mean. I don't know which one I just did. Glad you understand it's not oil now. Yeah, me too. I'm glad someone clarified that. That's funny. Oh, you guys are so funny sometimes. You guys are so funny. Okay, can you make a quick recap? Are you talking to me? Tron is still testing their platform. I checked it out. Why would a bank or any other payment provider use an unstable platform? That's true, Mr. Miyagi. That's true. Standard Charter is in partnership with Ripple since 2016. That is true. Actually, 2015. But yes, they have Standard Charter Bank has been working with RippleNet for a while. This is exactly what people are saying. You can also transfer crypto through ILP. Exchanges could also use RippleNet for transactions. Exactly. I feel like we might not understand the implications of having the ILP, the interledger protocol. It's just like consortium of interledger and use in a sense. So that's potentially what we're looking at. You guys want to do a recap really quick before we go? I just saw a recap. Where's the wrap? So they have basically announced the news that Alipay, Alibaba, was putting out some info of their Ripple-like remittance services, but they didn't say it was Ripple, so people are speculating, are they using Ripple or not? We looked through and tied them, with the help of you guys, we tied them to a bunch of the different companies that they have been using, the Standard Charter Bank, and the partnerships with Ripple that have all been outlined right here. We'll drop that in the sources. Looking at boom, boom, boom. Also today, why Bitcoin's about to give up one of its closely guarded secrets. That's right, we didn't even cover this earlier, but this video basically talks about how there's an alert system inside Bitcoin. So that was taken away in 2016, but it's brought back. That's on the news today. Looking at people calling Bitcoin dead. Will it soon die? No one really knows. Really, no one knows. The biggest news for the day is PayPal buying Hyperwallet using Ripple tech. So I know everyone's excited about the Alibaba possibility, but this looks like more of a sure deal. We know Hyperwallet's been using Ripple tech, and we know PayPal has made a public acquisition of them a few days ago for $400 million, basically saying PayPal's using RippleNet in a sense. That's pretty big, honestly. That's really big. Now, I don't know what the actual application of this is moving forward, but that's pretty much the biggest news of the day. Bitcoin price manipulation puts trust in cryptocurrencies at risk. We all know that. The market's falling. Everyone's worried. And that's pretty much the whole run-through for what we have going on. Hyperwallet working with maybe Amazon. We have PayPal acquires Hyperwallet $400 million. We looked at that. The Alibaba's Jack Ma launches blockchain-based remittance services, and we're saying that's possibly the XRP ledger. No one really knows. No one's confirmed that specifically. That's pretty much all we're going to do for the news today. That's all the big stuff. I'm going to look at some more comments with you guys, and then we'll see what's happening. What are you guys talking about? Brad has big pants now. Ripple is not XRP. Ripple builds neutral protocols, and XRP wins out just because it's the best. The best. Many will sell at 50, 100, 1,000, 2,000, and so on. It will take balls of steel to hold your XRP all the way up to 20K. LOL. Many will sell on the way up. And that's the truth, honestly. That's the truth. You know, like, you can laugh about 20K price predictions, but the reality is most of us probably won't have the grit or the balls to stay on that long. You know, you might sell at 100. You might sell at 10. You might be like, $10? Woo! I'm out. I'm out. The truth is, though, that if you can hold on, I'm just going to say it real quiet. I don't think 20K is the top. I don't think 20K is the top price. I don't. Looking at, I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities for other interoperable neutral blockchains to be used. But as far as all the options in cryptocurrencies, there's nothing that competes. There's no tech that really competes yet. So what does that mean? You know, like, what does that mean, guys? You don't need any more price predictions. What I need is a Pimp My Ride Bus edition. Woo! Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That wasn't just some girl laying around. That was my girlfriend. Remember, you cleaned up your act? That was just me at my hotel. That wasn't like a stage. I didn't put that on for you. I wasn't like, hey, Andrea, go lay on the bed in your underwear. Like, she was already on the bed. That was our hotel room. I didn't set that up, okay? I just happened to make a video. I don't even need to tell you guys this. I don't even need to tell you guys this. Hey, if you do a price prediction of 50K for XRP, I'll subscribe. Hey, DL, go away. I don't care about you subscribing for me to do a prediction for you. Do not care at all. You're the guy that also just said a moment ago that you laughed at my 20K prediction. So good. No, I'm not just doing price predictions for funsies because you said so. I'm doing price predictions because in reality, no one's imagining the possibility of this technology that's developing and launching right in front of our faces, and we're all instead listening to fudders and people who are trying to convince us that it's not going to happen. So, yes. Oh, yes, all the work of the W3C. Exactly, exactly. Biggest news is SBI CEO from yesterday. What is that? What is that? Him touting his support of Ripple? Is that the big news? I agree. That was also, I mean, he's been supporter of Ripple from day one. How many extra likes did you get for that scene? None. I didn't get any extra likes from that scene. What are you talking about? Woo! All right, crypto market, Bitcoin driven. Can you not make clickbaits? All right. Well, I can see that. I see that we really run our course today. I see we really run our course for topics to focus on. Since you guys are talking about my girlfriend now, do you think the one bank 100% using XRP this year must be SBI? Since Santander's VP of products, yes, also on Cora's team, so they don't see crypto as a liquidity management solution. You know, I think that people are basically just playing the position. They're playing the market. They're playing the field. People are going to say a lot of things, and people are going to do a lot of things. But waiting until it actually happens, I think is the real issue, or the real utility is just looking at what happens, looking at where the money goes, I mean, you can talk about it till you're blue in the face. You can talk about people not using crypto as liquidity. You can talk about people not using cross-border payments. But until the money starts moving, no one knows. So we're happy to see that happen. If you guys haven't already, don't forget you can watch the Bitcoin or XRP 20K explained, crypto, Bitcoin, XRP, the future oil of the Internet of Value of the future. Don't forget, you just asked if I have a Ripple address. My Ripple addresses are in the description. I have all the links for my join Binance. I have the links for my XRP gear. I also have the links for getting your Ledger Nano S if you don't have one. Everything's in the description. Also, all the sources, everything we look at today will be in the description as well. So happy to be here. Happy to do these videos with you guys. And looking at possibly dropping some more stuff later today just to kind of clarify who is using Ripple, or maybe we'll pick another one and talk about XRP, with Apple Pay or something like that. There's a lot of exciting things that are being discussed right now, and we'll do some clarification for that news. So looking like we've broken into about an hour, almost an hour maybe, and that's about it. That's all we're gonna do. Thanks again for joining me. Happy to see all you guys. Happy to share information and to have you share information with me. Cheers as always. Have a great day. I'll see you next time. Until then.